Yuka Takaoka, the real-life yandere.
Welcome back, and in today's video, we're going to be doing something new. It's true crime. I've been asked to do this for a couple years now, and I thought what better time than now. Today, we look into a crime of passion, one that blends reality with the anime world. We're talking about the character that is known as a yandere. If you're unfamiliar with yandere, it is a combination of two Japanese words, yanderu, and it means to be sick, and dere, which is defined as a strong, deep infatuation or love, the two being yandere. It defines somebody who is sweet and kind at first glance, but when it comes to their love crush, they will act obsessive and violent, some turning homicidal. It's very common in the otaku fandom. Otaku is an honorific word that means home. Otaku is extremely negative in meaning as it is used to refer to someone who only stays at home. On May 23rd of 2019, a young 21-year-old female, Yuka Takaoka, rose to fame online for all the wrong reasons. She was arrested for allegedly using a kitchen knife to stab her boyfriend, who was a bar host inside the 5th floor residence in the Shinjuku ward, Tokyo, Japan. When the police arrived, they followed a bloody trail only to find Takaoka sitting casually and talking on the phone while smoking a cigarette. Thereafter, Takaoka became a social media sensation. Users found the situation, including Takaoka's appearance and alleged actions, highly compelling. Thus far, very little information has emerged about the condition of the victim. We only know that he was 20 years old and that he was transported to the hospital, where he remains in an intensive care unit, fighting for his life, while Takaoka's twisted rise to celebrity continues. The reason for Takaoka's popularity online is rooted in the fact that she seems to be a real-life incarnation of the anime character yandere. Such a character, typically female, turns to homicidal violence in pursuit of love. Officers arriving at the scene around 4 p.m. on the day of the incident found Takaoka seated on the floor of the building's lobby, her hands and legs covered in blood, with her boyfriend, his abdomen sliced open, collapsed behind her atop a blood-smeared floor. Adding to the mix was news footage that showed her flashing an evil grin beneath her large glasses inside the backseat of a patrol car as she was taken from the scene. Soon after, social media users gravitated towards her yandere-like behavior. This created somewhat of a cult following, and the interest was fueled by her provocative quotes provided to the police. In describing her motive, Takaoka initially told police, "Since I loved him so much, I just couldn't help it. I did not want to go anywhere, so I sat down outside the staircase. I did not call emergency services because I intended to die after watching him die." On Takaoka's Instagram account, she posted images of herself dressed as a yandere character. After the incident, she garnered tremendous attention online as the too beautiful attempted murder suspect. There's been a lot of misinformation surrounding the story of what actually happened on that day. Until the middle of May, Takaoka was employed as a manager of a so-called girls' bar, which is a type of hostess club. Hostess clubs are a common feature in the nighttime entertainment industry of East Asian countries. They employ primarily female staff and cater to men seeking drinks and attentive conversation. The modern host clubs are similar establishments where primarily male staff attend to women. That's right, Greg. Last October, she met her boyfriend, whose club is located at the Kabukicho Red Light District. It was speculated that he was a very popular host in the area, very popular with the ladies. Nothing's been confirmed, but I heard that he went by the alias Runa. They began to live together on May 20th. 3 days later, he came home late, despite the fact that she was waiting for him. Takaoka had found the victim had become cold towards her just before the incident. On the day that he returned home late, even though she was waiting, she had found a photograph of him with another woman on his mobile phone. When he did finally arrive, she did not mention the photograph. Instead, after he fell asleep, she stabbed him with a knife. Shocked, he awoke and fled to the first floor lobby. It's very unclear at this point who actually called emergency services. It could have been a bystander, but there is speculation that it was in fact her. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department verifies evidence of the suspect's journal with notes written in blood that translate to "I like you, and another one translating to "I like you so much, I wanted to kill you." Investigators also retrieved a knife from the residence. She later told police, referring to the knife, "It was the one thing I had put in order in preparing for a new life with him." Fuji News Network released a security camera footage that shows Tokyo police escorting Takaoka from her apartment building, her legs streaked in blood. As the gruesome details of the crime spread throughout the world, people were captivated. The anime world had found the perfect embodiment for the yandere character. More than a week had passed, but Yuki Takaoka's case was still discussed by netizens. Netizens is an online term coined as a variant on citizen, a person who interacts with others on the internet. Recently, Yuki Takaoka's name was discussed again, but not about developments in her case, but because of a donation intended for her. Even though Takaoka was considered a psychopath, there were still some people who felt sympathy for her. They think that Takaoka doesn't need to be imprisoned and just needs to be rehabilitated. They even created a fundraiser on GoFundMe, so Takaoka could get a fee for her rehabilitation. The donation is targeted to be able to collect as much as $3,000, but surprisingly, just 2 days after the GoFundMe was created, it was exceeded. They managed to collect a total of $3,840 from 69 contributors. There was rising concern about the donation for it actually supporting a crime committed by Takaoka. Some worried that anime, cosplay, and in general otaku culture would become a topic of issue in the same way that politicians tend to make video games a topic of issue when various violent crimes happen. They plead that anime is clearly not the problem, and they wouldn't be surprised if anime is corrupting our children opinions started popping up. Yuki Takaoka is known to be an anime fan, which can be seen from her Instagram photos where she cosplayed various anime characters, and some of these characters fit the yandere trope. Thus, she might have been inspired by these characters to commit the act. She also has publicly expressed that "I killed him because I loved him," which supports this idea. It might be argued that she had a certain psychological predisposition towards violence, and the violence presented in the anime shows that she allegedly liked to watch might have catalyzed and subsequently triggered the act. I'm curious about what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. Some speculation was that the victim was taking advantage of her. The only information that could be found about this was just one comment online from someone who seemed to be a sympathizer. He's a popular Kabuki district host. She stopped gambling and did her best to earn money, which she spent it all on him. They started dating and lived together in Shinjuku apartment, where he got stabbed. Living together with a man like him made her go crazy and tired, so she quit her job. Then the guy paid more attention to a richer woman in the host club, and this happened. One user saying, "Then she's justified, I guess." This story is developing as we speak. Last heard, the victim has not passed on and is still fighting for his life. I'll be keeping up with this story, and as soon as there is an update, I'll let you know via my social media. Links are in the description below, so make sure your subscribe notifications turned on for that. Also, I want to urge my viewers not to take part in any type of glorifying the crimes of Takaoka. Separate the actions of a depraved individual from having anything to do with anime, because that justification will only lead to anime being taken apart and turned into something that it isn't. The seriousness of this subject is on another level, but the cultural phenomenon that has become an embodiment of a yandere has taken a life of its own. Society has always had a morbid fascination with what exactly makes a killer tick. Books by and about murderers become bestsellers. Some get their own TV shows, even spots in magazines. Most recently in Netflix, this can be demonstrated by the Ted Bundy Files. It seems social media globally has never devoted as much space to talking about criminals as they do now. In society, it seems we have a deep, dark fascination and disconnect. But where there is darkness, there is light. What's noticeable is how vocal the backlash has been against Takaoka's supporters. Multiple YouTube videos have been uploaded that express both shock and anger that people could treat her in the same way as they treat their favorite anime character. The thousands of comments online from her supporters have now been countered by criticism. Twitter has similarly seen many critical of this interest, with people urging others not to engage in this sort of behavior. Online interest in murder and violence isn't going away anytime soon, as Takaoka's incident highlights. However, an increasing number of social media users are prepared to step in and remind people that it's not fiction, but reality. And as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think, so why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes, and as always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. Also, if you guys are interested, we're still running the charity cat shirt. It's where 100% proceeds of this shirt go to helping the prevention of cruelty to animals. So if you want to do that, the link is also going to be in the description. I'll probably put it somewhere above right here. And let's get it done.